Okay. Why? Here's the thing, Xbox, Microsoft have announced that, not such a surprise really, but they're going to release new consoles, possibly next year, or I'd imagine maybe the end of next year, 26. And they've formed this new alliance with AMD to develop new hardware, new chips, lots of AI thrown in there just for good measure. And the question is, and it's not just a console, it's consoles, so handheld, desktop, and so on. So my question is, with all of this, and given Xbox's continued struggle to get any real dominance in the console sort of market, with PlayStation just obliterating sort of the big consoles and Nintendo sort of mopping up the rest. Then you have sort of Xbox sort of really just almost always struggling to, they make money, but they're it just seems they seem directionless half the time. It's kind of frustrating to see because their hardware is really good. However, they always do this thing where they sort of, towards the latter end of a console cycle, which we're kind of at now, if you think about it, with the current sort of Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, we are getting to that stage where it's sort of not coming right to the end of its lifetime, of course, but certainly to moving on and thinking and promoting and pushing the next generation. We're starting to get to that stage sort of this year and next year. We're going to start to see sort of leaks and things come out about more sort of the PS6 and the new Xbox and so on. But the thing is with Xbox is that they always do this thing where it's like when they're struggling, they always announce theirs quite early, that we're doing amazing things and we're developing with these partners, and it's almost like they're playing their hand early. And I think part of the reason they do this is to show that, look, we're still looking ahead, we've still got exciting things. And the current sort of Xbox thinking and mantra is play your games anywhere on any device. So the question is then, what really is Xbox? Are they just more of a game developer rather than a console manufacturer? Because that's kind of where I think they're heading. They own so many studios. They went on a massive spending spree these last few years, and that they own an enormous amount of studios. So I think really what Xbox really is a massive publisher of games. They just own so many studios, and they're just sort of keeping their hand in with the consoles, because if they leave, there's no other major console other than Sony, and they don't want that. I think they're using, could be wrong, it'd be the first time, but maybe they're just using the console as almost a marketing platform for their main profit drivers, which are the sales of the games and the publishing of the games. So maybe that's what it is. It's just, it creates hype and interest and so on. Whereas if they were just really what they are, which is a massive, enormous publishing house of various studios' software, then that's not as exciting as a new console. Consoles always generate excitement and massive amounts of publicity. And whenever Sony or Microsoft or Xbox announce a new console, there's always enormous amounts of interest globally. So that is enormously powerful for them. And their driver is to get people onto Game Pass, either on PC, console. And I can maybe even see in sometime in the future where, you're going to see more and more Xbox sort of platforms built into TVs and all sorts of devices. And where I think they're going to start to really open up the platform, where we're already seeing it on the ROG Ally X for Xbox. So we're already seeing that. So I think we're going to see an awful lot more of this amalgamation of other hardware into the sort of the ecosphere of Xbox. And I think eventually, once consoles will probably die out at the end of the next generation, possibly, then sort of Xbox or Microsoft will be this enormous and massive publisher of games, which is what they already are. So yeah, it's kind of interesting that they've shown their hand once again, and yeah, we're getting to that stage once again where we're starting to see teases and sort of public notifications of new hardware coming our way. It's kind of exciting, because over the next, it's almost like they waited for the Switch 2 to finish. It's like, get that out the way. Now it's time for the big boys. So I think, we're probably going to hear a bit more about Xbox over the coming year. And then I think PlayStation have got the ability to just wait it out, see what Xbox are playing at, and then they're just going to go bang. This is what we've got, though. It's going to be exciting because there's new hardware coming, and as always with new hardware, people are going to be disappointed. Yeah, but everyone likes a new shiny thing. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think, this is a good move for Xbox? Do you think it's just their standard play? What are your thoughts? Write your thinkings down below. Don't forget to subscribe and all that nonsense. See you again.